presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy caution. Sandstorm approaching.
Sandstorms throw me off because they give me overconfidence. I hit my dog. Look at him. Both knocked out. Right, douche. Get out here. Quick.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Get your arm out of the way.
Clouds approaching.
Damn it.
Когда-нибудь противник на станции с другой стороны.
Там всегда закрыто.
За ворот огромная пещера. Ясно же, что она тянется до самого объекта в горах.
Значит, руководству объекта нужна безопасная транспортная...
Damn it. No. Got him. Let's go back. Strict. Ballooning their ass. Let's get these guys high.
Analysis complete.
Alright.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
You gotta extract him.
More. Should we go to sleep soon? Damn, resilient pool. What? Come on. Oh, this is nuts. Good lord. I need to get rid of this guy.
Analysis
He's coming too. Roger that.
Analysis
That's the target.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
You gotta extract him.
Complete. Analysis complete.
Let's go home.
Analysis complete.
Mutts. Diamond mutts.
Subject on
No,
board.
not diamond.
Leave the rest to us.
Yeah. Charcoal mutts. See what the hell this does. I mean, we're in a pretty enclosed area. I don't know where some animals gonna come from. I don't know what it's gonna do.
Уважен наших ребят. Душман? Нет. Я слышал, что его прислали американские террористы в поддержку. Да он, небось, не паниковал, сел с катушек. Что творишь?
Nothing? Alright. Damn it. Damn you. I'm at a loss here for what I should do. Oh no! My suppressor. This is it. Get out of here. You suck. You suck. No way. Come on, just two more.
Outpost captured.
Great. Took a bit of struggle, but better be worth it. Well, at least we get to clear another mission on our side ops.
Analysis complete. The map has
He's
been
coming too. Roger that.
Nice, 2As.
You gotta extract him. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that.
I think I remember there being another guy.
completed. Side ops list updated.
Well,
Extraction arrived.
as a
at
reward, let's
base.
listen to a song.
Development project. Weather will clear shortly.
Or listen to this, yeah.
You called that thing Sahelanthropus. Where does the name come from?
Well, several years ago, an excavation team discovered a hominid skull in the Sahel region.
Central Africa, the Southern Sahara.
Cypher gave the specimen the name Sahelanthropus, man of Sahel. And then they covered the whole thing up.
Why?
They probably wanted to monopolize information about human evolution to have a head start in their genetic research.
Margot Place.
At least until they had an idea of what they'd found.
It was that big of a discovery, huh?
Sahelanthropus was a gracile hominid, estimated to have lived about 7 million years ago. What's significant about it is how its skull's foramen magnum faces down. In other words, its spinal column
Ooh,
supported
yeah.
its head from underneath.
It stood upright.
Right. Which would mean Sahelanthropus walked upright 3 million years before Australopithecus, making it the world's oldest human species.
Walking upright. I
That's
get it.
interesting, yeah.
Hence
Bipedalism.
the name Sahelanthropus for your machine.
Walking upright was the decisive difference between our ancestors and other anthropoids. Our brains could get heavier once they were supported by the spinal column. That led to the use of tools and the development of complex communication through language. Only man is capable of this. My creation will be the progenitor of all bipedal weapon platforms.
And you did this for Cypher.
No, not at all. Sahelanthropus is the best proof that I never betrayed you guys.
What do you mean?
The reconstructed Sahelanthropus skull looked exactly like the skull we used as our logo 9 years ago in the Caribbean.
An army without a nation. Outside the world order.
The design was based on Pangaea,
Yeah.
the supercontinent that existed 250 million years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
You captured an
continents,
enemy
yeah.
vehicle. Just like weapons and items, you can use your iDroid to have vehicles you've extracted airdropped in. You can also let members of the combat unit use them on dispatch missions.
But I always wanted to put its technology back in our hands someday. That's the reason I incorporated the old insignia into Sahelanthropus's name. Don't you see? That's how much I was thinking about you guys.
Oh, I see, all right. I see someone desperate to cover his ass. You can say
Little
whatever
more
you want
torture.
after the fact. But that skull also symbolizes somebody else. Skullface.
You have arrived at your
Snake,
destination.
you finally came. Just don't record this, okay?
Not recording anything. What's this about?
What I'm about to say stays between you and me. It's about the weapon to surpass Metal Gear. You know a researcher by the name of Clark? He works in the biotech industry. Real advanced stuff. His area is bioengineering. But lately, he's also gotten into genetic research.
Never heard of him.
Well then, what do you know about cloning?
I think I've heard enough.
Hold on, this is important.
Margot Place.
Cloning lets you create a genetic copy of an organism.
Margot Place.
You take the nucleus of one of its cells, and you swap it with the nucleus of an unfertilized egg from another member of the same species. They started out working with plants, but since then they've had success with other organisms, including mammals. It's a hot
Little
area
sheep.
for a lot of places right now.
Dolly, I think.
Corporations, universities, research groups. There's no shortage of scientists out to get famous and patent their work, with morality taking a back seat.
Isn't that a little outside your field?
It's got nothing to do with my research. But I thought it might be of interest to you. Cloning, and Dr. Clark, I mean.
Go on.
Now, this is really highly classified stuff. But I've heard that an American biotech company has successfully cloned a human being. What's more, it happened over 10 years ago. And the researcher behind it was Dr. Clark. You've really never heard of him?
I don't meet many doctors.
This Dr. Clark is a complete ghost, even to others in his field. His age, where he comes from, that might not be his real name. And I can't even say for sure he's a he. Clark's employer, ATGC, its company motto is embracing your hopes, preserving talent.
What does this have to do with me?
Cypher. Dr. Clark works for ATGC, and they have connections to DARPA. Cypher couldn't function without the communications network DARPA's built. Meaning, Cypher has to be a part of the Pentagon. Or at least, the two are joined at the hip. DARPA is a driving force behind human cloning. It's a pretty high priority project for them. And this Dr. Clark, some say he's a pivotal player in Cypher. But that's not all. Every cell nucleus in an organism contains the genetic information for that organism. Think of it as a blueprint for life. Clark appears to be working on how to decode this information and rearrange it at will. If you could
You destroyed their anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost.
A man of your talents, if your genetic information died with you, that would be a terrible loss for mankind. But what if mankind could preserve you for future generations by cloning you?
All right,
So-
enough.
Yeah, that was what Metal Gear Solid 4 was about.
Look, I know it's inductive reasoning, but this weapon to surpass Metal Gear they're developing in Africa, I believe it's something that uses this new technology. Speaking as a fellow scientist, it chills me to the bone.
That's rich coming from you.
If genes serve as our blueprint, then I wonder if they include an impulse that drives us to tweak the design. Can you imagine that? Genes encoded with information that wants its children to decode it. Is life itself putting the direction of our next evolution in the hands of scientists? I guess it would take some real arrogance to believe that. And yet, it could be what Cypher's after.
I think you're barking up the wrong tree. But that was an interesting story. Make a good movie.
You have to
Or a
believe.
good video game.
Where'd you hear all this anyway?
Where?
Or a real, you know,
I just overheard it in bits and
good
pieces
real
while
life.
I was forced to do that.
probably gonna
research.
happen in real life.
Right.
Wait a minute. Look, I want to help you.
Ah.
I want to be of service here. I'm risking my life with
I
this.
totally will kill
Is that
myself.
so? Maybe it's time we brought someone else into the conversation.
No,
Tape recorder.
not him. Not Ocelot. You can't do this.
Damn, Snake can be cold. Now that you've told me all the most important details, that be torture.
Marker placed. Marker removed.
Departing.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Side ops list updated.
When Quiet first came here, she demonstrated her marksmanship against that enemy fighter plane. It showed she was much more than your everyday crack shot. Hitting a moving target from 600 meters is a challenge, but it's possible with the right training and equipment. But shooting down that missile, that's a world apart from taking out a soldier on patrol. The chopper and the missile were in motion, meaning different vectors at high velocity in three-dimensional space, and she shot an unguided bullet that had to fight air resistance and gravity.
Damn.
All that while the chopper was taking evasive maneuvers. Some of the best target leading I've ever known. She has a superhuman sense of spatial awareness. You put her in a fighter jet, and she'd be an ace right off the bat. Hell, your judgment was top class too. Realizing she could take out that pilot, that's quick thinking. You and Quiet could make a hell of a team. You'd be damn near unstoppable. Quiet is still in her cell. Only a few staff are authorized to go near her. She hasn't tried anything funny, but that's what bothers me most.
In particular?
What does she have to get? Ever since the attack on your unit 9 years ago, the name Big Boss has become known the world over.
What do you mean?
Those of your men who survived traveled far and wide. They fought throughout the world. In fact, they're part of the reason we have all these PFs now. Every one of them suffered their own phantom pain from losing you. Talking about you wherever they went helped to heal their wounds. Your actions and words, your legend, has been told on every battlefield they've set foot on.
That's
Obviously,
right.
as the tales have spread, the truth's been distorted, painted over. Big Boss sacrificed himself to show us the threat that Cypher poses. He sounded a warning, so it goes.
A warning?
Too much power destroys the hands that hold it. Apparently, you chose to be a living example of that.
I never said any of that.
The moment any truth is passed on, it starts turning into fiction. The problem is, fiction inspires people more than facts. To the world, you're now the legendary mercenary Big Boss. The lessons you've taught the PFs are the reason they're so widespread. They're the reason they've survived. And you know what they all aspire to? To one day go nuclear, just like you did, and stand up to Cypher.
Of all the stupid things you could do.
They'll never understand what you really wanted. Heroes are misunderstood. It takes a man of the same caliber to understand what drives them. Bottom line is, these guys want to be like their hero, Big Boss. And deep down, they all have their eyes on nuclear weapons. They say that a nuke is the only means of standing against Cypher. But these days, it's becoming little more than a slogan to rally the troops and survive in a cutthroat business.
Currently, there are 3 major PFs who've expanded into Central Africa. CFA, Rogue Coyote, and Zero Risk Security. HEC's investigations have shown there's almost no overlap between their areas of operation. It's not so much a turf war, more like they have a gentleman's agreement. If you do cross paths with them, you probably won't have to face more than one at a time.
Please
Still,
select a mission.
don't expect a walk in the park. The CFA, Contract Forces of Africa. These guys are a major player.
Unit
Their head
dispatched.
office is in Pretoria, South Africa. That's also where the South African Defense Force is headquartered. We think the two are closely connected. An HEC investigation revealed that most of the CFA's operators are former
Still need more
SAPL
vehicles.
soldiers. South Africa has been locked in struggles with neighboring regimes for years. That means constant action. And we know better than anyone that's the best kind of training.
Unit dispatched.
A company drawing its recruits from hardened military vets. You can bet they know how to handle themselves. Do not underestimate them.
Within the CFA is a company of soldiers made up mainly of locally hired operators. They speak Afrikaans to communicate with personnel from the CFA. But if you notice any speaking the local language, that's them. Though hired from the local population, they were originally part of a paramilitary group, so they'll have plenty of combat experience. And unlike their days shooting junkyard rifles out of beat-up pickup trucks, the CFA now supplies them with the latest gear from the West.
Please
On top of
select a
that,
landing zone.
they've been combat trained by the South African Army. All that adds up to a much stronger fighting force,
Heading
so
to
don't brush them
Mother
off.
Let's try exploring Mother Base a bit. We haven't seen the soldiers in a bit. And like that guy said, they just make legends about Snake. Doesn't matter what he actually thinks. So maybe I can set them straight, beat some sense into them. We
Good dog.
You guys want to pet my dog? Too bad.
Thank you, boss. Welcome back, boss.
Cool, there's an inside. Yeah, for just a bit.
If you need supplies, let us know. I don't know. The way she moves, disappears. Boss, dispatch me on my next mission. Such thing as weird, supernatural, only cutting-edge technology. I don't know much about science,
Analysis
but even
complete.
science has its limits, right? And how do we know she's connected
No.
to them anyway? You're asking the wrong guy. Well, whoever she is.
Walkway here. This place is so much bigger now. It's been a while since I've been here.
Boss, let us know if you need combat support. Boss.
I hope you keep that woman locked up, boss.
Analysis complete.
Don't you dare talk about her that way. She's gonna be more useful than you are. Than 20 of you men. I mean, D-Dog is already worth 10 of you guys.
Boss.
What's this? Might it be a searchlight? It's medical over there. Quiet is over there. In her cell. And base development over here.
Analysis complete.
Thank you for getting those animals out, boss.
Yeah, I wonder where they are. Tell me where they at.
Chain with me, boss. How about it?
Ooh, look at this. Whole other platform. Still command, though. So this is the main one, then the next one. I don't think I've been here at all. Second deck.
Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Boss, we're ready to develop new equipment.
Analysis
Just give the order.
complete.
Hello, man.
Boss, any chance of expanding?
Yes.
How about expanding the base, huh, boss?
Yes. Intel platform. Pretty sure I have a third deck though. I want to visit that. Not too bad. Oh yeah.
Clouds approaching.
Oh, some cassette tapes.
So SALT 2 still hasn't gone into effect.
That treaty was drawn up to limit not just the size of the U.S. and Soviet Union's nuclear arsenals, but also their delivery systems. The whole deal. Just when we thought all those years of negotiations had paid off, somebody decides to invade Afghanistan. The timing couldn't have been worse.
The president was in the middle of the SALT 2 talks back then.
You mean while you were busy trying to stop Peace Walker? I heard. President Ford was meeting with the General Secretary at Vladivostok. In his absence, the political brass in America detected what they didn't realize was false nuclear launch data from Peace Walker. They were on the verge of ordering a retaliatory nuclear strike.
Coleman's big idea? Humans are incapable of destroying themselves. Turns out he never knew what humans are capable of.
If that AI, I mean, the boss, hadn't found a way to stop the fake data transmission, they probably would have gone ahead with the launch.
Deterrence was revealed as the pipe dream.
Come on, I'm already here. Salute
All
to me,
thanks to you.
asshole.
And her.
There we go.
Soviet talks looked set to fall.
Cool.
What happened in Nicaragua no doubt helped trigger a change of heart. But in the end,
The times define the politics. When you've grabbed their tail, they turn and bite your hand.
I first met you 20 years ago now. The place was Selenouyarsk in the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
We were enemies. I was with the GRU. You were still fighting for America. 1964. Operation Snake Eater. Its
Yep,
objective,
Snake
the
Eater.
assassination of the legendary soldier known as the Boss. When you returned home successful, they awarded you the title Big Boss. Your CO, Zero, sought to carry on the boss's will by covertly establishing his own organization. You knew the original members from Operation Snake Eater. From America, there was David O, or as he was to you, Major Zero.
Yeah.
Donald Anderson, aka Sigint, Dr. Clark, who went by paramedic during the operation, and the fourth, you. From China, there was Eva, and me, Ocelot, from the Soviet Union. 6 in total. To us, government notions of friend and foe were meaningless. As were East and West, we joined forces by our will alone. Our objective was to fulfill the boss's dying wish, to make the world one. And to do it, Zero used the Philosopher's Legacy, the secret war fund you obtained during Operation Snake Eater. This organization would go on to become Cypher. I, on the other hand, was left with the problem. You only recovered half of the legacy. I had to locate the other half myself. When I found the funds, I passed them on to Zero, just as you wanted.
I still trusted him in those days.
We thought what he was doing was the boss's will, until he started that one project.
Les enfants terribles, Zero called it.
You parted ways, as did Eva, leaving only Anderson and Clark still with him. I maintained limited contact, although truth be told, we were just keeping tabs on one another. The reason was always you. After you returned to the army and created Foxhound, you left America. For a time, even I'd lost track of you. I'd imagine Zero did too. You always were the best when it came to hide and seek. Zero created Cypher, an information network
At both hiding and
every
seeking.
corner of the globe. Woven together, Cypher's arteries make the world just one big organism. And that's not all. It also monitors the thorn in Zero's side. That's you, tracking your coordinates wherever you might go. The further you strayed from your roots, the larger Zero became. It's as if he was trying to close the gap between you. But before long, he disappeared from public life. Only a few people had direct contact with him.
This guy's still out.
For a time, I was one of them. Then a year after you fell into your coma, he slipped out of sight entirely. Since then, nothing. No photos, no recordings, not even a reliable rumor as to his whereabouts. I tried every method I could think of, but Zero was gone. Freed of his control, his creation, his power continued to grow. Cypher is a great beast, and Zero was its spine. But even without him, it's endured, evolved. But now its body is rotting, riddled with parasites. Parasites like the ones who attacked you 9 years ago in the Caribbean, and then at the hospital. Cypher's Black Ops Unit, XOF. They learned where you were, and came to wipe this.
Quiet's being held in a cell on the medical platform. She slipped out on more than one occasion, but she always comes back on her own. Maybe out of loyalty to you.
It's like a cat. Ah!
This war, The Kremlin never expected to have this much trouble against the Mujahideen. Afghanistan is a tribal society. Tradition demands that its people stand up to any outsiders who set foot on their land. With the honor of their people at stake, they have everything to fight for. No matter how hard the Soviets hit them, they continue to appear out of nowhere, striking back, then vanishing again. But there's one thing even the Mujahideen fear. Every last one of them. The Soviet gunships. They're highly maneuverable and equipped with massive firepower. Plus, the underside of the fuselage is heavily armored. The Mujahideen can barely scratch them with their small arms. Anyone who hangs around gets mowed down by the gunship's heavy machine guns. This new honeybee weapon that was given to the Hamid fighters, it's no doubt something to help them strike back against the gunships, which makes it a weapon that could change the course of the war. Those guerrilla fighters known as Mujahideen don't actually belong to a single organization. Afghanistan is a multi-ethnic country. You've got the Pashtuns, the Tajiks, Uzbeks, Hazaras, and each of them is split into their own tribes, large and small. Each ethnicity has several rebel organizations that their various tribes gather under. They're united under the banner of jihad, but that doesn't mean they work like a single standing army. Just look at the area around Smasi Fort. A lot of Tajiks used to live there. They fled after the Soviets started their Scorched Earth campaign. With the area uninhabited, the Hamid fighters, who are Pashtun, decided to move in. The Hamids are based out of the city of Peshawar. We passed through it on the western edge of Pakistan. The Pashtun people have long lived in Afghanistan and western Pakistan. They used to travel back and forth frequently. Then Britain went and established the border that still stands today. The Hamid fighters get generous support from the Pakistani government. The government looks to use
Oops. I thought just holding Y could
Boss, what happened?
have him
Boss!
latch onto the side, but I had to press it at the right time. God damn, I hope that doesn't erase all the diamonds I've collected. God damn, did it? Probably. Who knows?
Boss, welcome. Talk.
How's it going, boss?
Spit it out. We're here for you if you need combat support, boss. Speak.
So that all may have been just a waste of time. All the staff morale, all the diamonds I picked up. Tons of shit because I didn't press a button.
Boss. Rosanna, boss.
Speak.
Spit it out. Thanks for that, boss.
Please select a landing zone.
There's the diamond. I guess it means, yep, none of it counted. Gotta do it all over. God damn it.
Boss, I'm ready for dispatch. Spit it out.
The map has been updated. Marker placed.
Thank you, boss. Boss, please don't let that woman out. Spit it out.
The map has been updated. Marker placed.
Boss.
You have arrived at your destination. You have arrived at your destination. Marker removed. Please select a landing zone confirmed.
Roger. This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Clouds approaching.
Asshole.
Analysis
Douche.
complete.
This is B-Quad.
Ah.
On station at LZ.
I hate all you guys.
Gaining altitude.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
Lame. Still kind of fun.